I'm proposing they should first consult people concerned, the railway authorities, before they relocate, because I'm visiting how the relocation is going to be done. Three, I've also noticed that the contract manager seems to be a little bit relaxed. My colleague said compromise. Because you see work is not going on. The contract manager has not issued any letter, the warning letter. So the contractor is just sitting at par. Yet time is running on. We have already spent 8 months, and we are literally behind schedule. This project is already behind schedule. Whether we want or not, we shall not conclude this project as planned in 2023 December. The first issue is the issue of the community concerns. We don't want to again hear people who are supposed to be compensated. Because I understand even the 30% area which has already been which the contractor has already been instructed to work on, there are also issues. So I'm requesting that the concerned authorities, especially the Unra, this one I think goes to the clients themselves, the Unra, should now speed up, because I read through this document. There are still a number of pending PAPs yet to be cleared. Others, if you read through this document, there are others which have been approved, others they are pending verification. There are a number of them. There's one is totaling to about 7 billion plus. So those ones still will lead to another delays of this project. Here, I don't want to talk much about dialogue. Let me give this to my colleague. Thank you.
I just want to ask him whether the money is there or not. Because when you look at the side, there's totally nothing on the ground. We have seen so many things which is happening, but the work has not yet commenced. It is only some portion in a court which has been worked on, but the entire 30 kilometers from Apac up to a court has not been worked on. So I wanted to inquire whether there is money or you have diverted the money to a different thing. Another concern we have is that the number of work has been subcontracted to some contractors. We really want to know who are these contractors, because we have other contractors who are in Lango here, sometimes do study work, or which we don't want. So really want us to avail us with the numbers, the names of these contractors, so that we verify whether they can do the work or not. That is only my question. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We are going to give the other section toward the end of September. This section includes even my place. Unra came to my house. They put a mark in my house 2 years ago. They told me not to do anything. If I do any additional thing, they will not pay. We will sign papers, and they disappear. They are now talking of giving away that section in September. Is this sincerely true? You have not compensated people. People are even waiting for you to take you to court because you told them not to use their land for the last 2 years. The value of the land has gone up. Maybe you have put the value of 2 years ago. We are endangering ourselves with the way we conduct ourselves. So I want in the contract, so that we supervise. Maybe we will be made to know that this is because right now even
in this project, chairperson, maybe we were not even ready to do this thing. Maybe we are caught up by surprise. We should have been given the terms of reference. What do we want to see? And what do we want to see comes from the content of the agreement signed between government of Uganda and the contractor. Because now we are trying to ask, Unra is saying this the contractor. The contractor, actually, my summary is that the coordination between Unra, the contractor, and the consultant is very poor. Yet they're supposed to do work together. Now, in line with what I've said, I'm surprised today they are showing us somebody calling consultant doing gender issue, HIV and AIDS. Where are these people? They only come when there's meeting. Let me tell you one thing. The compensation started some time back. If you are a person employed by government, you are getting money from government to come and ensure that there will be no any gender issue within the project. There will be no component of HIV and AIDS within the project. And this time there's corona. Where were you when these people were being compensated? Many people are fought because of the money they received from Unra. Many people actually around Iboje, good number of people got COVID, which was as a result of movement between the workers and the community people. As I talk now, the impact of this thing will be seriously on the community and especially families. The boys who are working will be going into people's wives, into our children. Where are you, the person who have been paid? And you come here and say, you're in charge, HIV and AIDS. And that is where the problem is, because we don't know, as a district chairperson, we don't know who is involved in the project, who is doing what. Secondly, and in line with lack of information, like at a district, I think the workers who are working within that district are supposed to pay local service tax to the district. But how do you begin this process? Because you don't know. And I mean, the issue of appointment letters to the workers are not there. How do you approach it? So I'm requesting members of parliament, kindly as you approach this thing.
We have like this people and this key stuff, they are not available. But we are submitting to the client, Unra, CVs for approval because we cannot bring the people to site without approval from the employer and probably the bank also. So we are submitting, we submitted a lot of CVs to the employer and we are still on the process of submitting CVs, and any approval from the client we are mobilizing immediately to the site.
So have you submitted for all these remaining stuff CVs to Unra for approval?
We did submit. Some of them were approved, some of them were rejected, and some of them they are still on the process of review of the employer.
Okay, Unra will respond to that because we are concerned you're operating at 50% capacity for a project which is already full scale. So we are really concerned whether you have capacity to continue supervising. Unra will respond to that on when these people will be approved to be brought on site. Because remember, it is the same consultant supervising Rwenykunye-Apac and Apac to Turanga. Now, if he only has 50% manpower, we wonder how that's going to be addressed. You can proceed.
That us as DAR, we are doing two scopes. We are doing the design review, we are doing the supervision. So for the design review, it's still, as you know, that it's in the process with the employer for review and for finalizing the results. But as the contractor was requesting for the new design or for the new drawings to commence his work. So to avoid this delay to the contractor and to the project, we proposed, or we, as from our results, we, because we know what is the result from the design review. There is some sections in the project, especially for the 30% of the project, there will not be any changes on that design. So we provided the contractor with a list of these stretches, so the contractor can proceed without requesting the new design for the project. Unless also engineer can add something on this.
So are you saying that the current designs available are sufficient for the contractor to proceed with his works on the 30 kilometers stretch?
For some stretches, yes.
Some stretches.
Yeah.
Which are the other stretches?
Sorry?
Because what we understood was that for the swamp crossings, there was some redesign where near the Akolibur place where there is a redesign.
Yes.
But on the 30-kilometer stretch, how much work can they do? How many kilometers of work do we have designs that are available for them to proceed?
It's in the range of 18 kilometers, but they are not 18-kilometer full stretch. They are small stretches, but total in the 30-kilometer, 30%, they are 18.
So 18 kilometers of construction works can proceed with the available designs.
Yes.
Does the contractor have those designs?
In his contract, yes.
They're in the contract.
Yes.
Okay.
Chair, information. You are saying in a stretch of 30 kilometers,
Yes.
you have a swamp totaling
No, not a swamp.
swamp section totaling to 12 kilometers.
No. That,
Yes, because you are saying only 18 kilometers and be worked on using the other design. Meaning that 12 kilometers is within the swamp.
No, let me clarify. This, the changes or any comments on the original design is not only for the swamp area.
Okay.
Yes.
It
So,
includes other sections
yes.
with bud soils.
Sorry?
With bud soils.
Yes. I'm not getting you.
Now, what is the problem with other sections which are not swamp?
Some
No,
of
I
them.
was asking you, you said 18 kilometers.
Yes.
Designs are available. Your 12 kilometers, what is the issue? Why don't you have the designs?
Because the outcomes of this design, this has to be approved and from the employer, and then we can give it to the contractor so he can.
So are those designs ready?
Sorry?
Are the designs ready? For
Still,
the 12 kilometers?
No, still in the process and the review from the employer side.
While we were there, you told us that the designs that are there for now
Yes.
can allow the contractor to get back to work and start work.
Yeah.
Even when there are going to be changes, it may have little effect. Of course, changes are going to be there with the final designs that are going to be approved, but with a little effect. Now,
Exactly.
can you sort that out and tell us one thing we are going to do moving forward?
Now, in addition, in this report, it is clearly highlighted that the designs for final review were submitted on 29th of June.
Yes.
So when you say that the designs are not ready, which designs are you talking about? Which are not ready? Because the report is very clear. For final review, it says for final review. Are there again other designs that again you have to create?
No, we submitted the final design review with our comments on the previous design. So the new design, this is a discussion between the consultant and the employer, is who is going to produce this new design or new drawings. So it's still, as I told you, it's on the process. Maybe Unra can also clarify that also to add more information.
I understand the design reviews are done by Unra team.
No,
Is that right?
no, from
Who are
the
supposed to do you?
yes,
The consultant themselves.
yes.
You design and present to Unra.
Design review. We did the design review. We
For
gave
approval.
comments. Yes.
Now approval takes 2 months. Are you working together with Unra?
Of course.
Yeah, because now we are working together, you are work as a team. Now 2 months down the road, these things should have been approved. After you have submitted your design, it means
So-
you are not fully now.
So I think you will have to explain to us because they are claiming one, they are trying to mobilize staff, they are waiting for your approval. Now they are saying they have also done designs, they are waiting for your approval. So we want to know why is this delay happening? It's almost 2 months, taking place. So we need to get a response from that. So we are understanding that
On the design, original design. So it will be the same, but as I told you before, to save time and to avoid further delay, we told the contractor for this 30% of this stretch, we gave them that this, you can proceed with it until we give you the new drawings or the new design.
So the designs are not, they are there or they are not there?
Currently, we are following the original design.
So there's an old design
Yes.
for the 70 kilometers?
Yes, there is a design.
Okay.
And which
Well,
is the contractor
will
signed.
respond to that because they said in September they're supposed to hand you another 30 or 40 kilometers of road.
Yes.
So we want to know whether the 30 and 40 are the designs there or again we're going to go into the same. Because if we cannot even come up with designs for 30 kilometers, then we're going to have an issue there.
There is enough design for the contractor to go on with the work. He has just said that swamp crossings are not going to change. If there's any change, it will be very, very little. So in other words, the swamps can be worked on. For the swamps to be worked on, we saw that we need rockfill, which the contractor is now trying to work on so that he can start. Otherwise, without that he can't. We shall go back now and ask the contractor if there's anything more, because right now it has been design. We'll ask him if there's anything more that really he needs from our side for him to go down the road.
So wait, from your explanation, are you saying that the 30 kilometers, the current designs are sufficient to cover the 30 kilometers?
No. The 30 kilometers, the design, there are sections which we know will not be affected by the review within the 30 kilometers. Some of those sections are the swamp areas. There are other sections on the dry land which also will not be affected by the redesigns. So those ones the contractor has, he has enough space to work on.
I want to close this very briefly, very briefly.
Excuse me, I just want to ask some questions before we go through. You're telling us that contractor can proceed with the work. My guess there are some other designs that you have not yet concluded. Do you have meetings with this contractor?
Do we have?
Do you sit in a meeting with this contractor as a consultant?
Yes.
Yes, we do sit in meetings.
When was the last meeting? When was the last meeting?
The last meeting was at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Do you have minutes for those meetings?
Yeah, we have minutes of the meeting.
And you are going this committee without minutes?
Yes,
We shall make arrangements to do that.
And we are meeting with the contractor on a daily basis because our office is next to his office.
Yes,
But for the
that one
monthly,
is clear. Your office is next to the office, but you're not communicating. As simple as that.
no, we can assure you.
Proceed to work. What we have done is actually when the first 30 kilometers is handed over to us, we started site clearance and removing topsoil for such sections. But there were some places which had problems of flood compensations. So we had to jump from one section to another kilometer. So I have to emphasize that we need to have the proper design data and a continuous design for the sections that we have to work. We cannot work in a section and then leave it, start in another kilometer and then come back and then do it again. This was not programmed and planned in our bids.
So you're saying, as we speak right now, you do not have the designs to proceed with work, or you have the designs?
No, we don't have.
You don't have the designs.
The tender designs we cannot work with the tender designs.
But they're saying that on the 18 kilometer stretch, the designs you used or the designs you received during signing of the contract are sufficient for you to proceed?
No, sir. We have to have proper cross sections, and that shows the points, external points, and elevations, etc. These those technical things for us.
So they have not given you the design with the cross sections, and you don't have that.
The cross sections we received represents the tender design, not the construction design for doing this, for executing this project.
Consultant, can you please respond? You know, whatever they're saying they don't have any design to proceed with the work. And we find
What he's asking is the editable format, for example, such things. But from our side, as I told before, that the contractor can proceed with these stretches for only the following all the drawings that in the contract. This is from our side. So the contractor can proceed with his work or this provided documents.
Mr. Chairman,
this is really getting.
Who normally issue instruction to the contractor to proceed with the work?
Engineer.
Do you have evidence to instruction given to the contractor?
I told you, we give the contractor.
Can you present to this committee the instruction?
Yes.
You give us.
So give us the instructions, because he's saying he doesn't have the design. You're saying you've given it. It is you to give instructions.
Let me clarify. We did not give him any.
Pardon?
We did not give him the design.
You did not give him?
No. The design that was in his contract, the one he signed, this design he can proceed the work with.
Yeah.
But we did not give him the design.
Okay, just hold on, let's listen to Mayor.
Yeah, this is the point where we need Lira to come. Because this is how contracts are designed. I know these people are not being articulate in explaining what, I want to play the devil's advocate. That when a contract like a road is designed, there's provision for design review. Now when design review is done, it is sent to Unra, who is the client, to endorse. Once that's endorsed, then it goes back to the consultant, the supervising consultant. Then the supervising consultant then instructs the contractor. So can you just release this confusion?
Yeah. Can you please explain to us?
We want to submit that as far as Unra is concerned, we carried out the design through a design consultant before we did the tendering of this project. Now, during the execution, the consultant, as part of his assignment, has to do a review of the design to confirm that the design is adequate at the time of doing the execution of the work. The consultant has done this review and noted some issues which we need to improve. And this improvement is in the process of being undertaken. But in the meantime, as our practice, once we have identified sections of the design for which the consultant has not recommended any change, we allow the works to proceed. Now, what I'm seeing here is the disagreement between the consultant is that the contractor is saying that he needs the entire stretch before he can do the work, which is not proper in our practice, because usually we give this section so that works can proceed while the changes which we want to take can go on while works are going on. The swamps where the consultant has recommended additional drainage structure, this is being looked at. Where the consultant has pointed out that there are more swamps, more than what we identified during the original design. This is being considered. So this is the process which is going on.
So are we saying that in the designs there are sections that are unchanged which can enable the contractor to proceed with the work?
Exactly. That is what the consultant has submitted. But it seems what the contractor is saying is that he wants to have the entire
These are the what I'm saying, you yourself and the technical person. I'm not only saying the word what instruction have you written back?
The instruction which has been issued by the consultant is that those sections which have been identified, for which we don't expect any changes, let the contractor go ahead and...
So did the consultant issue those instructions to the contractor?
Yes.
That was issued?
Yes.
And the contractor has defined, is that what you're saying? Are you saying the contractor defied instructions of the consultant to proceed with the works?
And actually, based on that, they started the work.
No. They are telling you clearly that they cannot proceed. They cannot proceed. You know,
So
we want to understand where is the problem.
So now our concern is that if there is any additional information within those sections which the contractor is requesting from the consultant, then that is what we want to understand so that we can facilitate them to go ahead.
Okay, let's ask the contractor. Now,
before we go there, let me ask you a question. Of the issues we are raising,
I want us to discuss on the design, the others will come in next.
Mr. Engineer, have you been in this house when we were seated here for this meeting? Were you attentive? Because you are telling us that the consultant has instructed the contract, and that is the basis on which he has started the work. Yet the contractor says he cannot proceed with the work. Were you inside here? That is my question.
So I think.
Were you attentive to this meeting?
So I think that will.
The contractor said,
But that is, yeah, I think they just need to emphasize.
and the owner has been there.
You identified the project manager. In all this confusion going on, all this period that work at stone, what is your role and what are you supposed to do or what are you supposed to have done? I thought what we are doing here should have been what you yourself should have done with those people even before we came. But if we are talking now, are you there to really help the situation? Is there somebody so big above you that you don't want to talk here and yet you are the project manager? What's wrong? That should be able to take decisions rationally and advise and let the project move on. So tell us your purpose here.
Currently, what we, as Unra, are advising in this direction of doing the work which the consultant has advised, but we're also working on addressing the issues which have been pointed out in the report, that we need to make improvements.
Not that the contractor says no, unless I have the whole design for that straight, I'm not going back to work. This is what is being moved here for all of us, do ourselves and then the consultant. How are we going to talk about that? We wait. Because he's here saying it, you have it, you don't have that.
No, we are not going to wait. First of all, we have our design team also coming here in the coming week to verify what the consultant has pointed out. And once we come out with the information for the whole stretch, then we shall give this information to the consultant to go ahead.
Now we are about to hand over another 5 to 40 kilometers. Do we still have issues to do with the design on that section or that one you have
No,
moved ahead?
the issues which were raised were holistic. It was not only for the 30%. So what we are addressing now is for the entire road.
191.
Yeah. They didn't only issue for the 30%.
Fine, let me listen to Honorable Nelson.
These designs with the cross sections, etc., all those data, yes.
Okay, contractor, did you receive instructions from the consultant to proceed with the current design?
Yes, and we replied that we cannot execute the works according to these.
Did they respond to you?
Not yet.
When was that? When was that?
It was, cannot remember the exact date, but
No,
it's not far.
a month ago, 2 months ago?
No, it's not more than 1 month.
Not more than a month. So for 1 month you responded to them, they wrote you responded. For 1 month they have not responded. Your offices are next to each other. You said you meet every day, every week, every month. Okay, let's listen to the Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I think for us to resolve some of these issues and to really affirm that we are getting the right information, let the consultant and the engineer put on the table the letter they used to submit the designs to Unra now, so that we know when it was done and for how long it has taken and why. We want to know why. Two, let the engineer and the consultant also lay on the table a letter instructing the contractor to proceed with which section of the road. We want to know when this happened and why the delay. Then three, the letter from the contractor back to the consultant and the engineer that he cannot proceed. And what they did thereafter when he said he cannot proceed. Because he may be genuinely saying, I cannot proceed. That's why he demobilized and went to Kurami. He should be having his reasons. And all these things are supposed to take place in writing for evidence. But when all this is taking place, let Unra tell us what they have been doing to resolve this impasse. Because they've been with these designs, perhaps for the last 8 months. It has been with them. What communication has been between Unra and the consultants? Also lay on table for us.
Okay, I think that's
and
material on existing material on the road, and also the swamp areas and etc. Now this has been done. Survey works has been done for the 100 kilometers. The ground levels has been surveyed, and we have done the material on the road tests for the 60 kilometers. And for the borrow piece, we have also took the samples and executed the samples. But as the engineer said, we've been instructed to do more geotechnical tests because there were some swamps that wasn't spotted before the tender. So that's a variation order for additional works. So the geotechnical tests for those swamp areas are going to be executed.
So basically what you're saying is the geotechnical tests for the design as per the original plan is done, but there are additional places where you need.
No, for additional swamps, not yet.
Not yet.
Because we just received the instructions, and we are going to proceed.
You received the instructions for the
additional swamps, yeah.
Okay. Your persons on the ground gave us the timelines for tests. They said within 2 weeks they can complete that. So we expect that all those geotechnical tests, the additional ones, will be completed without any further.
I have to clarify that those are regular normal earthworks tests, but for the swamps it's more specific. So when considering the number of additional swamps, it's going to be more than.
You see, contractor, we don't want you to write on technical because when we start with you on site, you complained about those tests taking a long period.
Yeah.
When we went to your own lab, your people were very excited to say how they have completed all the tests and just said only a few are remaining. We do not want, after solving a design issue, again you are coming to us that you have geotechnical tests that are pending. Because what you've assessed, you have the capacity to be able to carry out those tests and complete them within the stipulated time. So that is something that we are informing you. Your technical team already confirmed to us, so we don't want to go so much into the debate. Now, can you please explain to us, have you subcontracted your works to any entity, and who are those entities?
Let me clarify that. I think there's a misunderstanding when we were talking at the campsite. What we did is, there are some, we were talking about the number of equipments on site and listed for the tender, full number of equipment. We planned for the full project, 100 kilometers. I said there are measures. We hired machines before in November and December to do some rehabilitation works on the swamps. And we can hire or we can subcontract some of the works if needed, but we didn't subcontract up to now any part of the works.
So all the works are being done by you?
Yes, yes.
Not subcontracted to anyone?
No.
So what you are hiring are the machines? Is that what you're telling?
For the timing, we don't need. We do not hire any machines for the timing because our machines right now are enough to execute the works for the 30 kilometers and so on. As I try to explain you, these numbers are showing the peak production numbers for the project. For example, you mentioned about trucks, etc. The trucks will be reached to that number when we start the payment layers. So we don't need the full number of trucks for the time. But we are, of course, we bought new equipment and they are on the way. They are coming. We are just adding the improving.
Yeah. So that raises the issue. I like. You have the capacity to undertake this program because the already challenges with handling the 30 kilometers. Unra says they want to upload you another 30 kilometers. You're going to have 60 kilometers, and in future also another 40 kilometers.
Yeah.
Do you have capacity? Because already your equipment, as I told you, you're short of about 83 equipment. You don't have 83 equipment on site. Almost only 60% of the equipment is mobilized. So do you have capacity?
We do have.
You also said you are hiring. Do you have capacity to handle this contract?
We do have the capacity, sir, but I have to clarify that this pending 83 numbers of pending things includes small compactors, small generators, and etc. I mean, for the heavy machines and the plants, we are confident that we can execute the work.
Yeah, but you see, when you look at the excavator,
yeah,
here it indicates 9. You only have 4 on site, and you need that for this storm crossing. Bulldozers, rollers, graders, all those are indicated as pending equipment.
This list also has to be updated because we have more excavators and graders and rollers for the time being.
So Unra, the issue here is the list you presented
strongly to people. This is a project that has come to Lango. It is a project that is extending to Acholi. It is a project that our children also who got papers, who have papers, have to benefit from. So I'm really concerned. You people come out nicely and explain to us how the local content has been addressed. With employment, with the HIV/AIDS, the cross-cutting issues and many others. I'm not really seeing it come. Okay, you are giving us technical issues here, but there are other hidden things that we must address. We have been concerned about this project for quite long, that this road has been as a song for more than 20 years. But now that the contract has already come, the award has already been made. We have got loans from Islamic Development Bank. We have got the contractors from Kuwait. We have got contractors from, from Turkey. You people, Busan, yes, Busan and the other one. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have to be serious with this. Unra, please be honest to us. If it was any other road, construction going on in another region, I think you would have finished by now. But if it comes to the issue of Lango sub-region, we have only 3% only of our road network having tarmac. Please be considerate. We are very serious on this. So please let other issues also come up very nicely so that we proceed. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Last thing, when disclosure has not been given to the people. Disclosure is where they get you Bobukai, and it is only you to know how much that we have valued your land. Chief Government value has approved. This is the amount. Do you agree with it? He said yes. Then the payment process starts. Now, after that disclosure, the PAPs within the 30 kilometers will now be put in the payment plan, and it is paid by GOU funding, which comes in quarterly arrangement. So we cannot tell you that it is tomorrow or when. But when immediately it is verified and immediately it has been disclosed, you already will be in the plan. The next release, you will be paid. So I think this is what I needed to clarify.
The issue was about gathering, engagement. Because if we have almost about 1,500 project affected persons, we cannot meet each affected person in a day. So what we do, we normally call for sensitization meetings, where people sit together and then we tell them which processes we are handling, where we've reached, and what we need them to do. Now that is the process that we halted because we could not gather people due to COVID. When the lockdown was eased a bit, we came back and we did sensitization for this section. I personally handled the sensitization meetings, and we told them that the criteria we follow to pay, and also the requirements that we would need each affected person to provide before they get paid, and also to open a bank account. Now, what happens is, why most people, by the time of payment, the accounts are dormant, is barely speculations, because we have handled the first section and they have been paid. For someone who hear like, okay, those people have been paid, they open the account, and they go and open their account before we tell them to do so. So we normally advise the affected persons to hold on until when we come on ground and tell them now the report has been approved by the CGV. Now go ahead and open your account, and we give them a time period for them to do so. So that by the time we are making payments, the accounts are still active. But also,
finally, let's summarize.
yes, and also, finally, these payments, like we cannot tell the people that we are going to pay you next week, like our colleagues say, because the money is released quarterly. And as Unra, they give us money in one basket, and there are so many projects. Now, they may pay the other projects and it may not cover all the affected persons, and money can run out. That is another reason that can cause a delay. But basically, we have done everything we can. We are still trying our best to make sure the remaining.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lango as a tribe is a very honest tribe. We are very open to issues. For us, we don't go behind bars covering things here and there. In case there's a problem, we come up openly and address issues, and that is what we are. So take it from us that we are very open on issues. Maybe when you come from other regions, you know Uganda has very many ethnic groups, and each ethnic group has their own tradition. But as Lango, we have our emblem as a rhino, that is a muka. We say a muka is a very fierce animal, and a muka doesn't fear anything, and that is hers. So I would like to take this opportunity to say that whatever we have discussed here, we want them taken wholeheartedly and with commitment that we are going to put forward to have these roads constructed. I would like now, before I invite the Honorable Minister, you see, there's a saying that when two elephants fight, the grass will always suffer. We don't want to hear of this fight between the consultants, the contractors, Unra, and what have you. Go back, resolve your issues. We shall be very grateful, and we shall work together. We shall make a very keen follow-up on the issues that we have discussed here. So take it from us that we are very serious people, and as members of Lango Parliamentary Group, we have our vision for Lango, and we are going to work according to what vision we have for Lango. We have been here, we have been disadvantaged. It is a high time we didn't keep quiet. We are here to work. We are here to serve our people. So I would like to thank you so much for the allow me to say a big thank you to all of you for coming and concluding this meeting very cordially. And also to thank you all for your submissions to the issues that were raised and the responses that we have received. I would like, especially the teams from Unra, because you are the user department. Many of you have been here for a while. During the time when this road was officially commissioned, some of you were here. And for those of you who have stayed here for a while, you have toured Lira City and Lango. If I asked you whether you have ever seen a tarmac road in your life in this area, I don't know what your answer will be, except for what is in the city, short roads. The people of Lango are yearning to see a tarmac road. They've not seen it. They hear about it. They hear it exists in Kampala City, in the west, in the south, in central. The 3% the Secretary General talked about is within the city. And these ones, you cannot even call them roads. If Lango, as a region, is the region that is most disadvantaged with roads, then you know what we feel when we come to meet you and to talk. You are standing between us and votes. You are standing in between us and development. You are standing in between us and lifting our people out of poverty, because those roads open up for trade. So although the chair has already thanked you, I will still say something. I have read your documents. In all your documents, and if you go to the last page of your document, you say, you mention only 3 challenges: absentee PAPs, prolonged verification of legal documents, and the COVID-19 pandemic. Delay is not your challenge. Delay of whatever kind is not your challenge. You don't even seem to be worried that you have already lost 8 months. You don't seem to be worried that your delay is affecting people's livelihoods. Personally, I would have included all that here in the challenges, because it disarms people. When you note it down, oh, so they've noticed this. Nonetheless, you go ahead and you say you look forward to working with the district and local leaders in resolving community disputes. I was thoroughly disappointed when I was hearing district leaders talking, and they are so green about what you're doing. That is what the chair was saying. Can you bridge the gap in coordination? If you really seriously are committed to working with district leaders, work with the leaders. Keep in tandem with them at every minute. Let them be updated about the challenges that you are going through. That is the only way you resolve disputes. You conclude that the 2 contractors have demonstrated sufficient capacity with the support of district leaders, and you are confident that they will undertake the works to completion. That's a very good statement. Chair, we should note it in red. Unra is confident. While you're confident, there are already wrangles in between the 2 groups. But you're turning your back and you're saying, we are confident. While you're confident, there are gaps that have not been addressed. You see, the beauty with writing a report is that it is documented. And thank you very much for giving me a copy. And if you haven't got your copies, please get your copies. That is documented evidence about your presence on the ground and the acts of negligence that are ongoing. All is not lost. All is not lost. We still have faith that there can be a turnaround
for you to begin to execute your work with passion, with commitment, with zeal, to make the people of Lango know that they are valued and you are here for work. Not here because you are here to make money or just here for a job. You're here for work. We want to see work begin. We don't want to come here to find fault, no. We want to come here for review meetings and appreciate you. And so I will still talk about quality of work. Mr. Contractor, we have seen work done in many parts of Uganda. I didn't see many of you writing except the chair. Of course, we are going to share the minutes with you. We want a checklist. Before we come on the 4th of October, a checklist of what you have done, a big report, matrix form. This was the way forward. This is what we have done. These are the remarks. Why have we done this? Why haven't we done this? Unra, I hope you're hearing. And then we shall begin with the checklist. That makes things very easy. So once again, thank you very much. Thank you for the information. Thank you for your commitment. And thank you for being firm and humble as we tell you the truth. The truth will always set people free. Wow.
Yeah.